What's up, Wanderers? I'm Chloë Clover, and this is this week's Wonder Le Chat. I don't need to do. We'll put it in. We'll put them in. Yeah, so it has been Wonder Get Zoomed, it has been Wonder Chats, but we've been all talking and we really like Wonder Le Chat. So yeah, this week it's going to be super incredible. We are talking to one of the most amazing people we know, one of the most positive people we know, one of the most inspiring people we know, which is, you might know him as Superman, we know him as Lee Flanagan. Yeah, he's an underdog, he's a bespoker, he is a leader of that whole world of Primus, and he's incredible. We've been working with him for a while. We did some really cool stuff with the Underdog series. That's really cool, so we might chat about that a little bit, but more importantly we're going to be talking about what's going on in the world, how he's absolutely killing it right now, which is amazing, and some positive things that are coming out of all of this goodness. Right, I'm going to go because I'm talking too much and I'm getting the nod from Lee.
Why do I feel nervous doing this in front of you? I don't know. Maybe it's because people have started calling me Superman.
I don't know about that. Do you know why they call me Superman? Because when we were kids, I used to get fed tomato soup for my dinner every day.
Right. Maybe that's the secret. There must be some in tomato soup.
Superman, okay. S-O-U-P-R-man. Thank you, though. Nice compliment.
All right, cool. So yeah, so we are, this is it. This is Wonder Get Zoomed, Wonder Chats, Wonder Le Chat, whatever we've decided to call it. We haven't figured that out exactly just yet. But yeah, it's really cool to finally sit down and chat with you, Lee. I feel like we talk all the time, but we never get too much time to just talk through stuff and things and what's happening and how you're feeling about it. So yeah, it's really cool. Thank you for agreeing to come and chat with me.
Pleasure, my friend. Talk for my friends.
So
thanks for having me.
So do you want to introduce yourself, and for people that don't know who you are, and tell us a little bit about Bespoke and about your journey?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Lee Flanagan. I'm from the Winniebanks area of Middlesbrough. I am the lead bespoker, and that means I work at Bespoke Financial Group, and we specialise in life insurance, critical illness income and mortgage. Doesn't sound very fun and interesting, but I'm quite lucky that I work with really fun, interesting people, and that, I'm very grateful for that. Father, I've got beautiful children who I love very, very much, as most parents, all parents will say the same thing, and I'm very, very, very proud to be from the area.
Yeah, I think that you're like a stick of rock. Like, if anyone snapped you in half, not that they would, because you're dead strong. If they snapped you in half, it would literally just say T-side, like Bespoke and T-side going around, which is quite a powerful thing.
Thank you.
But yeah, you said there that you didn't think that insurance and mortgages and finance and stuff sound very interesting, but I thought it was really cool that you said, but you're lucky because you work with interesting people, and I think that's totally true, that if you feel like your job isn't interesting, or what you do doesn't appear interesting, then you need to be interested, and the people around you need to be interesting, and that's sort of that's how it works, and that's what Bespoke's got nailed.
Thank you. Yeah,
used to be flying at the minute as well.
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Well, I said it doesn't sound very interesting, but to me, it's really interesting. I love what I do, and I do what I love. Sorry to sound corny, but I do. I love my job. It's actually 10 years today. I went on a training course in York today. I think I mentioned it to Michelle and a couple of guys, and they put a post on Facebook to congratulate me. I've just been getting a load of videos. I come off a Zoom call, and I've been getting loads of videos of the team just to congratulate me on my 10-year anniversary, and that's really kind. That probably shows you the type of people I'm fortunate enough to work with, and so many changes from 10 years ago to now. Very grateful for all the amazing things that I've got in my life. Partner, children, friends, family, bespokers, yourselves. You love being friends, of course, and life's very, very. It's different in a lot of ways, and I think landmarks create a bit of emotion, don't they? And
Sure.
a bit of regret on certain areas and a bit of pain on certain others, certain bit of happiness and a bit of excitement about the future in certain areas. But yeah, I'm eternally grateful for every single person who's helped me along my way in this journey, and I'm very grateful for the industry too.
You're always, I think that's something that I really admire in you, is that you're grateful for everything and everyone around you, and I think that's something that not a lot of people have, and I think to really appreciate people and moments is a really special gift.
Yeah, okay. We spoke about this morning. I think it's called an attitude to gratitude. That certainly wasn't always the case. It wasn't always the case. I was a hater. I used to hate rich kids, I used to call them. I used to hate people who'd been given businesses. I used to hate people who were beating us insurance in the league tables, and all that is really, it's just an insecurity, and I can see that now, and I feel a bit embarrassed, and looking back and thinking, God, did I go on like that? And probably been horrible to be around people you care about, being horrible around people you care about. It's not nice, is it? But you develop and you change as a person, and I believe in your theory of 5 people. The people you hang around with have a big effect on you. Hang around winners, become a winner too, and I'm very fortunate that I've got great people around me now in personal and work. And I say personal and work, my work isn't personal. There's not much of a difference. I think I'm only one person who I don't work with, who I spend time with, children, beautiful, beautiful children on the side. So I'm lucky to spend time around good people. But I wasn't always a positive person. I was a hater, shameful to say, but I've got an attitude to gratitude, and sort of just prophesise the things that I desire for me, my family, my friends, for the area. And I'm grateful to God, I'm grateful to the universe that I have got them. I just haven't got them yet, and just work towards it. And predict your own future with positive energy.
Yeah, I've seen you talk a lot recently about remaining neutral, and how how important it is to be positive, but being honest with yourself that can't always be the case, and what do you do when you can't be positive, and you've been talking about that a lot.
Yeah, okay. I think it's a really good concept. I read a book, what's the guy's name? Trevor Moawad, it was called. It Takes What It Takes. A good friend of mine, Sean Hope. We read it together. I think Michelle, we know Michelle very well. We sort of listen. I said read. We listened to the audiobook. I'll come back to listen to audiobooks and reading, because that's something new to me as well. And I listened to that book, and it was quite life-changing for me. It's all about, he's a sports psychologist in America. He does a lot with American football teams, basketball teams. And I think that the Americans are sort of light years ahead of everyone on a lot of fields out there, and how the mind works and how important it is. And listening to that book, he was saying positive thinking is probably the most damaging thought process or theory or technique to the mental health and the well-being industry, because you can't be going through a divorce. You can't have fucked up in your life like I have. I think most people have. And just think, come on, gotta be positive. All right, I know, I must be positive. It's a real shift to go up the gears there. So for my very simple brain, you have negative, neutral, and positive, and it's about just shifting up the gears. And if you're feeling negative thoughts, it's a thought process. It's not about the thought, it's about what you materialise and verbalise into reality. Because if you opened everyone's head up, God, the thoughts that would pop out would be crazy, wouldn't they? Half of us would probably get sectioned and never let out again, because there's so much going on up here. I think it's 1,400 thoughts a minute. I believe I heard. I might have that wrong. Don't quote me, but that was in the book. So you can't really think positive thoughts. I don't believe in that. I think about speaking things in reality. So if you're feeling a bit down, which we all do, and something bad's happened, if you've made a mistake or something painful's happened, and you're reliving painful memories, which is usually what it is, I think, isn't it? Really sorry, someone called me. I put on the group, don't call me on a Zoom call. And they still ring me. It's Becky Pye. She's a good girl. I think she's making me a cheesecake, bless her, so I can't complain. You can't always be positive. So if you're feeling negative and you're feeling a bit down, just remain neutral. Don't try and be positive, because that's false, isn't it? It's not a real thought or a real emotion. That just stay where you are, stay still for a little bit. The moment will pass, and then you start I think, positive, affirmative, and time positive, like yourself. Listen to a song. I don't know what it is that breaks, but spending time with your children or your partner or your loved one, which we all like to do, and that'll shift your gaze. But yeah, if you're feeling negative, just don't say silly things like, "Oh, I feel so down." You get up in the morning and go, I feel really tired today. How have you felt all day? Okay, that's just a moment, it will pass. So if you get up in the morning, you go to the saying, I feel tired, just keep it in, go with your little bricks, go downstairs, have a coffee, sit down, have some breakfast, have a healthy breakfast, focus on the little jobs at hand, the coffee, the shower, ironing the clothes, job by job. Focus on them little jobs. You know what, that moment will pass and you will get a second wind, you will get a bit of energy. But if you get up and go, God, I feel terrible today, I think you'll feel, you sort of prophesise your own future in a negative manner, and it's something that resonated with me. And he seems like a really clever bloke, so why not listen to clever people there?
I agree with it. Do you know what? And it isn't something. I think I talk a lot about being positive, and I feel like if I exude positivity, then I will in turn that'll happen to me. You know that if I tell myself that I'm going to be positive, then I will then become positive. But I think what you've been talking about recently, and like you just said there, I think it's so true, because when you're that sort of person that feels and tries to be positive all of the time, when something bad does happen, it really does happen. Like it really gets you, because you don't let it in so much, and you fight it and you fight it and fight it. When it finally gets in, that's when
I get you. But, you just turn around to look to your left there, just to your left. Your skateboard. So if you look at that there, I was just looking at it, and success leaves clues, and I believe in the universe. I think that's there for a reason. So if you look at the red part of the skateboard at the bottom, that's like your negative zone. The middle bits are the yellowy orange, shall we call it? And it says thank you on there, an attitude of gratitude. How amazing is that? And the top bit's your positive zone. To go from green to red's a big fall, isn't it? And it's going to be really, you think about, so myself and Michelle, we use a lot of analogies, because it's just how my brain understands things, that's all. Because, went to Archibald, Nackland Grange, and good schools, but they're not Harvard. So I've got to do things that I understand. So if you think about playing Jenga, so I'm a piece of Jenga, you're a piece of Jenga, and we're both so tall. I'm really tall with loads of bricks in me. You're quite small. Obviously, the natural thing as human beings is to say, look, take a piece of me and build yourself up. And we do that, don't we? With advice, with borrowing money, with being decent, with being straight, by helping people. And you'll take a bit, and you'll go do another bit, because I still feel a bit low. Have a bit more. Before you know it, you're going to take too many pieces, and what's going to happen to that tall stack? It's going to fall and scatter across the floor. Okay. And that's the red zone on that skateboard, that's the negative zone. So build yourself back up from that. It's a challenge. Yeah. It can be done. Of course it can. We do it all the time, but it's a challenge and it's hard. And how much does it take you out here after you fall and grow and fall and grow and fall and grow and rebuild? Why don't you just try and remain neutral all the time? So you're having a bad moment, you're having a bad thought, we all get them. You're having a bad memory. Just hold on to it. It's a moment, it'll pass. Focus on the job, focus on the coffee, focus on the walk, focus on the task at hand. Do something where you just get a little bit of 5-minute isolation, focus on your breathing techniques. And it's something that works for me, and for that, I'm grateful.
And I'm never going to look at that. I'm never going to look at it the same way now. But
yeah.
I
but reading's good. Reading's good. So I sort of sorry, I interrupted you there. I do apologise. So last year I did a podcast with a guy called Alex Curtis, who you met, nice fella. And we go through stages in our lives, don't we? Some of our stages have been good. Some were dark and horrendous, and they still read the ugly head. Be lying if it's a good, isn't? Usually the thing that will raise us ugly head is guilt, isn't it? And that makes you feel pain, and we all have that and regret. But I did a podcast with Alex Curtis last Christmas time, as we were just finished off the Underdog. It was about the Underdogs, which is amazing. And I think all credit goes to you and the guys involved. It was amazing. So thank you for even letting us be a small part of that. It was amazing. My battery was dying now. I'll put my earphones in a minute. Sorry, just the guys ring me constantly. I put on the group to stop ringing me, and yet they're still calling me every 2 minutes. Like, it's unbelievable. So bear with me. That was Simon Duffy. Sorry, Si. So I was saying to you there about Alex Curtis, a podcast at Christmas time, And I quite clearly say on there, like, look, reading books is bullshit. I don't know what they're all sat reading for. Why they're doing this, why they're doing that. There shouldn't be a reason. It's stupid. What are they looking for the answers for? Just get up and go to work, outwork people. And I think the stage of life that I was in to get me to a certain level within the career and industry I was in, that definitely was needed, because I needed action. You know, I needed to just get on with it and get to a certain point. But we didn't win overall top firm. We won top protection title. We didn't win overall top firm. I got told by Richard Coulson, who's my boss at London. I remember getting told, it probably doesn't mean anything to a lot of people, but to me, it was something I'd obsessed about and lived about and visualised winning it for so long. I'd lived on that stage with the borough flag, and I've got my kids' names written on the flag, and I just wanted to see my friends and just do something for the area and for myself and for this team, because I truly believe I work with a special group of people from a very special area. So, and not to win, I felt like I failed. I'd let people down, and it wasn't very nice. But I spoke to Michelle, and I spoke to Daz, and Michelle said, like, quite really subtly, imagine you go up with someone with a problem and you say, I've got something on my mind, I feel a bit let down, and I've been up all night. She went, you're terrible tonight. So we didn't win the top one, I'm so sorry. She went, I was expecting something articulate back. She went, I think you want to get your fucking head out your ass, don't you? Like, what are you going to do about it? Maybe you need to sort of like break the ceiling, go to the next stage. How do you get there? And to go to that next stage was education, to learn, to develop, and I sort of become addicted to audiobooks. I'm going for like 2 weeks, I think, at the minute. And are they all the answers there? Probably not. I don't know, but do they make me feel better and make me a little bit calmer, and maybe it's a little bit more articulate when I speak, and maybe it's a bit nicer to be around for some people? You probably have to ask them. I don't know, but yeah, it's but they're always there as a kid. Remember, as a kid, the teacher would go, read them books. You're a bright kid. You're underperformed. You're clever. Read the books. And I was like, I want to read them fucking books. And I got and play football and my mates and go cause some havoc around Winniebanks with Anthony and my mates and my cousins. And yeah, we changed. We have different stages of our lives. That's what I'm trying to say. My daughter, Honey's a bookworm. My sister Louise is, and got it in the genes. I think my niece Emmy's the same. So maybe it's in the blood now. I'm just embracing it now.
I think, but maybe it just wasn't in the right. Like everyone needs their thing to be different, don't they? Like, so maybe reading the words wasn't what does it for you, but you needed to be active. Maybe that's what it was. So you needed to plug in and listen, because you couldn't settle unless you were doing something. So.
Maybe, yeah, quite reflective and a calm. We use the 3 C's, don't we, to communication technique that we use. We've invented a word called calm, controlled, and conviction. I think it's a really important technique to use for people. Certainly something that's helped me be a better communicator with people, which is important because we always need to improve, and definitely I do, always. And yeah, so you might get a few D moments. Might even get me on aliens, and then God, you're gonna go really deep then.
I guess what I'm really interested in chatting to you about, because I think what Bespoke has done, which is, and you personally with launching your personal brand during everything that's happening, it's just, I think you guys have taken something that other people see as a negative, which it is. Like, there's no denying that terrible things are happening, but what you've done is you've gone, okay, that's happening, we can't change that, but what we can do is make sure that we can do our best to help people for a start, but then to also keep raising our game. That doesn't stop just because all of this is happening. Doesn't mean that your goals are going to lessen, because you set them for a reason and you still need to get there. Yeah,
I get you. So it's like adapting, isn't it? Also, my daughter Honey, she's autistic, which we found out a couple of years ago, and that makes a lot more sense. And for me and Mum Lindsay, it was a great mum. I'm blessed to have great mums for my kids, I think. And all those differences, there always isn't breakups in there. Unfortunately, my kids are well looked after. And yeah, maybe think, was I on the spectrum? I don't think I'm a normal child. Sorry, they just keep calling me all the time. That one's Carla. So yeah, I don't think I was a normal child. So, and I didn't adapt to change very well. And the slightest thing would have caused me into a meltdown. So I'm not a doctor or nothing, but I'd maybe look back and think, did I? I don't know. At this point, it's a little bit irrelevant, I guess. But you start to understand yourself, don't you? And analyse yourself a little bit. So I think adapting to change is something that we just have to do. And I think as I've got older, I've developed an ability to just adapt and just get on with it. So we use, again, another technique we use. There's so many quotes and fables and techniques that we use. Get on with it. Accept, adapt, embrace, and get the fuck on with it. And it is what it is. You know, I can't be saying at the minute, can't wait till we go back. We're not going back. Like, that's gone. That's gone. Your first love left you. She's moved on. It's happened. It's that bit's over now. You've got to move on with life. And I always think there's a reason that the review mirror is so small and the front windscreen so big. To use another analogy, because you know you're supposed to be looking in that direction. That's it. So, only person I ever seen go backwards well was Michael Jackson moonwalking, and I can't moonwalk. So, but yeah, we adapted pretty quickly. Something I'm very proud of. And again, I was thinking bespoke, and you know, me and Michelle say like we work for the bespokers. You know, we work for the bespokers. They don't work for us. We work for you. And since we've changed our mentality and our communications and our speak all this year, things have changed as well. We have meetings now and we say, right, me and the management team, Michelle, and we want you to come in place. And one will be, you know, from the a bespoker from the administrative team. They're all bespokers. One will be a mortgage advisor, one protection. Come in. This is what we're thinking. What do you think? What do you think about that? What do you think from the shop floor? And it's completely perspectives, everything, isn't it? If I see a 6, you're going to see a 9. If I see a B, you'll see a D. So if I can come around your way thing, I'll go, fucking hell, yeah, I can totally understand why you could say that. Sorry, I feel bad now for. Do you want to come around and see what I was saying? We have a bit of a laugh about this, then we can have a discussion like respectful adults, you know. So we get the guys involved. We see their point of view. We understand it. We can't always agree for a variety of reasons, but it's sort of changed the dynamic of the bespoke group. And yeah, adapting was a big part. But I'm surrounded by amazing people, and when you surround yourself with amazing people and you let them have a voice, you know, you develop, don't you? So I think if you walk into a room and you're the cleverest person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room. You're probably in the wrong room. And I'm definitely not the cleverest person in the bespoke room.
I think a massive part of it's a part of the overall package, but a massive part of bespoke success and what I would say your success is, even though you say that you don't like the word success all the time, but yeah, I think a massive part of that is the fact that you've embraced social media and you've embraced, like, that's where people are, and that's where your customers are, and that's where your referral partners are, and that it's necessary in every industry now, and it's something that you guys did really, really well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I think again, I could take no credit for that. Do I come up with the odd idea? Some good, some very bad, some good. You know, but we all do. We all chip in. Social media, we've got Viral Effect James and his team who have been great with us, fantastic, looking after us and supporting us. That's been brilliant. Grateful for that. You guys took us to a whole different level with your videos, and the underdogs with the sort of watch at the moment. We're very grateful for that. We've got a really good age demographic in the team, and we encourage creativity and we just want to create an environment where success and development and growth is sort of like inevitable if you become a bespoke and you buy in. So the social media stuff is good all down to kids. But saying that, the most useful technique and the most Kelly Bird's been great as well, guiding us from the back office. So I think the best things about social media for us, it's a two-part answer. This one is because Darren Rawson has got the most success from social media, because he'll see his clients and he'll say to them at the end of the sale, look, if you and the appointment, if you think I've done a good job, and hopefully I think I have because I'm a decent person, would you mind putting a quick message on my personal Facebook post, tag a few family and friends, and if they're not interested, no problem at all, and if they are, I'll have a chat with them. And that's been like sort of like people go, God, it's genius. You know, Daz is a genius at insurance. He's one of the best I've ever seen. That's probably the GOAT, to be honest with you. But and a great guy, a good friend of mine. But is he a genius on social media? Definitely not. But sometimes simplicity works. And I think what we do have is we're in touch with our area, and we're proud Teessiders. We're not all grey men in all grey suits. Although I'm an old bald man, I'm not in a grey suit. I don't have a briefcase. It's not a generational business passed down like a lot of the local, financial services. And businesses are, and good luck to them, no problem at all. That's, you know, it is what it is. I wish them all the best. It's a difficult injury, so fair play and nothing but love to anyone who's making a career out of it and feeding the family. But I think we're in touch with our local people and the town of Teesside, town of Middlesbrough and the area of Teesside, sorry. People are going with, you deal with Primus now, don't you?
Yeah.
Our network.
Yeah.
You go and they say, like, it's a bit unfair with Lee and Bespoke because they've got a full fucking town behind them. Like, it's like they go and there's fucking hordes of people, one post gets 5,000, and that makes me incredibly humbled and grateful and totally blown away. And I'm in love with my town of Middlesbrough. Like, and people do say, hey, it's not fair to use it, you've got a full town behind you. Yeah, we have, because we are that town. We are Middlesbrough. We know the area, and we're very proud of our roots. If you don't know where you're from, you don't know where you're going.
100%. I think what you guys have done, and it's the most important lesson in brand, is that you haven't just built a business, and you're not just you're not a face of entity. You're not just selling something. What you've got a culture. You've got a community of people, and people are invested in you as people, and you as a culture and a way of life, and that's what speaks to people. You speak to people in there, not just up here, and it's to feel like you guys really care about the people that are with you, whether it's in your team or whether it's the people that you advise, or it's whoever it is, you care about them, and that you can see that, and it's powerful.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. So culture is a really important word to us. Culture is a really important word to us, because you think like you've got a moral obligation to the group of people you work with. Have we got everything right over the years? No, definitely not. And I'd be the first person to take responsibility for that. Have we learned lessons? Yeah, we have. We'll continue to learn them as well. But I think if you look at our cultural architects, we like to call them at work. So cultural architects are the people whose behaviours and conduct sort of set the scene for the place and the environment that you work within. Michelle, Gaz, Lou, Simon Duffy, Helen Gorman, Nathan Steele, Geordie Galloway, Cy Walton, Carlo, Aaron, Emmy, I could just keep going on and on for these people. Becky making my cheesecakes, they constantly just do these type of things because they're such a wonderful group of people. And culture is basically an environment that just where you can be yourself, you can create, you can grow and you can develop, you've got support and love of others. And we're doing it at work, and it's not for everyone. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and I understand that. That's totally fine. But I'm obsessed with my listening to my audiobooks about great cultures. Best ones for me are Atletico Bilbao. I was texting Darren and Michelle about 5 a.m. this morning. Atletico Bilbao are a football club in Basque area of Spain, and they only use Basque players, and their social commitment to their local environment, and they're a representation of all the good parts of the environment that they're in, the area that they're in. I think, God, I would love someone to talk about Bespoke, but they're so like Borough, aren't they? They're fearless, they're streetwise, they're working class, they're decent, there's no jargon, there's no bullshit, there's no just no like proper Borough. That would make me bust with pride if someone said that one of my beautiful children and my partner, and it would just make me bust with pride, really. So yeah, culture's important. I play a very small part within that culture. I'm very grateful to have that part, and all credit to the Bespoke group, all the Bespokers, they're brilliant, and all credit and all gratitude to the absolute amazing people of Teesside, because they have got behind us. We are grateful. It means the world to us, and thank you.
That's incredible. And I think that's why we enjoyed working with you guys so much, and why we enjoyed creating the Underdogs, because it was like you showed everything. You showed all warts and all. Like it was who you are as people, and who you are as a culture, and it was amazing to dive into that and create something really special with you. And I think that a lot of other businesses would be too afraid to let people in that deep to see what they're all about.
I mean, can I return do you mind if I give some feedback on you guys?
Yeah, go on.
Well, obviously, you're the cultural architect for you guys. So the first thing people say about Clover is, God, she's so bubbly, she's so bouncy, she's so energetic, she's so positive. And I see behind the camera, behind the lens, like an absolute perfectionist on every level, an obsessive winner, perfectionist to the finest detail. But if you look at our area is full of unbelievable companies, families and areas where there's a culture that's inbred amongst us, deep-rooted within our DNA, that sort of like speaks volumes to the environment and the society and the sort of the conduct and behaviours of the people around us. So if you look at the bespoke group, so I'm paying you to be confident, amazing, been a pleasure to work with, and all the other guys are a great ambassador for you and Lou. I think so much of, because great people will become good friends. Teessiders do that, they meet people and do become friends with people. That's a trait we've got. If you look about Teesside as a whole, like they closed ICI down, they took that off us. That was wrong, they closed SSI down. They took our 3 points off us and got us relegated. And you can go on and on and on. There was the nurse scandal of the 80s and all bullshit constantly against us with these fucking propaganda programs about our town, the worst place to live. Okay. Have they been? Have they been to Rosebery Topping? Have they been to Codbeck? Do you know what I mean? Have they been in these areas? Have they been to the Avenue of Trees?
Yeah.
You know, so you're going to sit on a programme and diminish an area and put it down without coming visiting us and getting to speak to one of us. But we're going through a change. I feel. You know, one of my closest, he's not a friend, he's a brother to me, Anthony High. He's deputy mayor to Andy Preston. And, you know, 10, 15 years ago, to say a lad of the Winniebanks like Anthony, who's as bright as a button, would be deputy mayor and doing such great things for the town, alongside Andy, who's a great guy and doing great as well. I'm a friend of Andy's, he's a great guy. I know Andy's a big supporter of him. That would never have been the case. It would never have been possible. Even going to work, how you guys go, we've just been talking about trainers and a pair of trainers and just being yourself. And so the world's changing, isn't it? You know, so we're sort of adapting and embracing change. Teessiders are great at that. We've got a chip in our shoulder, haven't we? Because with all these bad things happen to us, the world's against us. You've got an older people say, "You Geordies." No, we're fucking not. Like, we're not. We're smuggies.
Always.
Yeah. Always, yeah.
I think when you're from Teesside, you're right. It's almost like people don't see that as an identity. I don't think that people recognise what Teesside is or wouldn't be able to point to it on a map most of the time. And it feels like, we do have a chip on our shoulder, but it's because we're so passionate about our area, and I think that's why we're so close as people as well, because nobody else is. So we have to be as connected as we are, as passionate as we are, and embrace and push each other and lift each other up. And in other areas they don't have that. Well, they probably do have that. I shouldn't make sweeping statements, but that's one thing that is really special about Teesside. Like you're saying, we're proud to be from here. And
definitely. Yeah, I think you said that very passionately. The first ever Primus Awards I went to 5 years ago. Like I said, it's my 10-year anniversary today, which makes me really humbled and proud and grateful. Such some lovely messages and videos of people. So grateful for that, and grateful for every single person I've come across along the way. Thank you. At this event, there was a guy called Hugh Butler or Hugh Dennis. Hugh Dennis, I think he was called. If someone called Hugh Butler, I do apologise. I think there was Hugh Dennis. He's in some sitcom called My Dentist or My Family or something like that. And he gets on the stage, he was like, they compare the evening, you know, like to do a few jokes. I told Alex about this last week, and he gets on, he goes, "Oh, bloody Middlesbrough," and talking about this and that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you don't know us. And I felt like I sort of like related to the Cool Runnings scene where they mocked them and mimicked them because they were different, and we are different, yeah. And then they carried the bobsled over the finishing line, and it says in the Disney film with John Candy, brilliant film.
Yeah.
At the end of it, on the credits, it says the return 4 years later is equals. We're 5 years later now, and we got the same awards dues, and we are equals now, and that's testament to the area for supporting us. That's testament to sort of your Darren Rolsons and Michelle's and Nathan and Galloway's and Cy Duffy and Louise and the people who are with us who are no longer with us, and just all of our clients, our clients, our partners, our children, and everyone just gets behind us because everyone likes an underdog story, don't they? The underdogs was something that you come up with, wasn't it? It was your idea, the underdog story, and I think that's a great term for Teessiders in general. So when I go there now and we're fortunate to win an award, because we celebrate that, because you should celebrate winning an achievement. I believe that. We whip a borough flag out and we stick it above our head, and I feel like it's one for TS, that for TS5, and I believe it in my heart. You know, does it annoy people? Probably, but we are Borough, and we're proud to be Borough, and you know, for the Borough, I love my hometown very, very much.
Your heart is on your sleeve. You can see how much the area means to you, how much your team means to you, how much speaking to people and just being around people means to you. So yeah, and you can see how much you mean to other people as well, and you mean a lot to us, because we're
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that you've always had faith in us, and we've always appreciated that. And yeah, I'm excited to watch you guys literally take over the world, which it feels like that's what you're on the way to be doing. And and thank you for taking the time to chat with me today. I appreciate it.
Faith, I learned something today in one of my books. So you said about faith. I do have faith, and you should write. But science says, show me and I'll believe. But faith says, believe and I'll show you. Well, I do believe in you. The minute you met you, you're clearly very, very good at your job. And I think it's important we look after our own. And even the local Teesside area has gone through a bit of a change business-wise, because real people are coming to the forefront and the support's real. And you learn a lot about people when the chips are down and fail. But yeah, I mean, thank you for having me on first and foremost. I've got nothing but respect for you, Lou, your families, and all the Wonder guys. I want to say a big, massive thank you to all the Bespokers. Truly grateful and humbled to play my small part, to be part of that team, and to our clients, our families and friends, children, partners. Thank you, because it means so much, the support. And it's just a good crack. Just lucky to have a job, a roof over our heads, and we'll go out and pay the bills. Thank you.
Thanks again, Lee. I appreciate it. And yeah, well,
my kids' names, I kiss the tattoos all the time. My kids' names as well, they're there for. Yeah. So I do that all the time. You're thinking, what's you doing? I'm a fidgeter and a twitcher anyway, and I go, it's a habit. I've kiss the kids' names all the time. Yeah, so there you go. Like any other parent.
So that was the incredible Lee Flanagan. He's always so full of energy and beans and goodness, and yeah, I always feel inspired after speaking to him, and he's got so many one-liners and quotes and all of that stuff. So yeah, he's incredible. I guess if you would like to see more of these, that'd be really, really cool. You could drop us a like, you could subscribe to the channel, comment, get some conversation flowing about the things that we've just talked about, or whether you think it'd be really cool to chat to somebody else, drop an idea down, and yeah, we'll do that. It's been really, really cool. I'm enjoying these wonderless chats. Well, and so I guess after all of that, there is nothing left to say but see you in the next one.